That's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
That's bullshit. Well, hello, everyone. How are you doing tonight? I'm going to go ahead and trip this up and say welcome to Bullshit After Dark.
Welcome to Bullshit After Dark with your host, Sean Bradley.
Isn't that such a lovely voice? Thank you very much to one of our sponsors for recording that outstanding introduction. What the hell is going on with my screen over here, man? I'm on the way wrong brand over here. Here we go. There we go. Now I got the branding up. Had to have his new logo shining in the top corner up here, you know, right up there. The brand new, like we're going to talk about this logo. It's a very, very big change from the old logo. Like I went from a circle to a rectangle. It's very solid. It's very bold. I can laser the absolute hell out of it into anything you want. Cups, keychains, signs. I can do all kinds of stuff with a logo like that. So yeah, that's the kind of logo that really makes me happy. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. So good to see some of you in here tonight. I'm going to let you guys stack up in here. I'm going to make it through this evening, and I'm going to let this man talk a lot, I promise, because I talked for 3 hours on the Hold Back Rack podcast earlier today, and I'm like fucking kind of podcasted out, but honest, there was no way I was going to cancel this one. So let me throw up here the sponsors of this podcast. We've got some changes around here. Oh, well, things happen, things open, vacancies open. There's a couple of companies that have asked me in the last few months about sponsorships. I intend to approach them and make them an offer. So far, we're going to keep rolling with MorphMarket as I go through and I tell you about this new thing I saw today, introducing breeding plans to help you plan your next pairing. What an outstanding feature this is. Like, dude, are you kidding me right now? And I can even emote about what I think. Like, it really did. Like, this is going to piss me off. Like, oh, I'm angry that I had this great idea in mind that I was going to breed this to this. And this is what I'm going to get. You mean this piece of crap? I guess that's when you get angry emoji for what a website tells you you should do with your genetics and stuff like that. Honestly, I think it's an outstanding idea. And hats off to the team at MorphMarket and John Lehman for being so amazing. And I've got some messages to answer. But yeah, definitely check out morphmarket.com. If you don't have a page on MorphMarket, then you definitely need one. C-SERPENTS, rack systems, incubators, and accessories. I go way back with this guy when I was at my worst. Well, my injury happened. He came to my partial rescue. You know, he was one of the people that raised a ton of money for me, helping Limey to raise a bunch of money to help me out, and more or less has helped out so many other people. And he's also the sponsor of other podcasts as well. So check out cserpents.com for a 4-week turnaround time on rack systems and stuff. And I was just actually looking through the racks, and I think I want to get something. I was going to build one myself on my machines, but I think it'd be better to support a sponsor and maybe put like this 5-tub V70 rack behind me on my wall as like my ball python portion of the wall. Because I want the wall to have a little bit of everything on it. Like I want it to have a snake rack and a terrarium and a 3D printer and a sign and some other stuff, like other things that represent the things that I do with my life and my time. And I thought it would be neat to just grab one of these like 5-tub V70 racks and then make the top of it like the podcast desk, you know, where I put a piece of wood on top or something and made that actually the desk pedestal for because I want to have some guests in here. Like people have asked me to have Lee Hingle on this show several times now. And the reason I haven't had old Hingle's Herps on here is because he only lives like 30 minutes from here. So why would I not want to have him on the show and have him in the studio and have him here with me? It seems really weird to have him from so close be so far and have him green screening and stuff. So I look forward to doing that. So I'm going to hit Chris up and see about one of these racks. And I'll easily need a month. 4-week turnaround time. No problem for me, buddy. All right. Exotics by Nature. That's me. You can check us out on MorphMarket. You can check out all the reviews, 180 listings. Sales have been very, very slow for me. So it's time to go in there and adjust prices and update photos and all that fun stuff. But I do enjoy my MorphMarket experience very, very much. usarc.org. It'd be clear with this one. They're not a sponsor of this podcast. I just want them to have like the center stage of the entry of this podcast. So USARC doesn't sponsor anyone. So this is just my own personal, hey, this is thank you for being you and also help us fight for your rights. There's an Oregon animal ban that you really should look into and read about. It's very nasty and it affects so many people and so many pets. New sponsor for the podcast, the Eclectic Tattoo Collective, our second collective to be a sponsor of this podcast. But this is actually Ricky Savage, one of the owners of Savage Constrictors. And this is his new tattoo shop opened up. So, and look, he listened in Eustis, Florida, 1900 South Bay Street. Walk-ins welcome. There's so many reptile people in Florida, right? Go help out a fellow reptile guy. He's incredibly decent looking with glasses on. Like like this view of you though, bro. Like this is right here, this view, this here. I keep forgetting that the tabs aren't up. This view of you, Ren, with your eyes closed. I know this was your first customer in the new shop and everything, but this picture with your eyes closed, we got to get a better picture of you up there. You're much better looking than that. But yeah, I always roast the sponsors. Bravo Zulu. Love you as a sponsor of the Bullshit Podcast, Navy veteran, and always helpful. She was especially happy about the Jason Hood episode that we did this Tuesday. So if you missed out on this episode from this Tuesday, then you missed out on a great show. Go back and check it out. This is Bravo Zulu and something she's got going on. The Funk Project. It looks a lot like Vanilla and Mackenzie to me. It looks a lot like Mackenzie to me if I was just throwing a dart at it. Ectothermic Dungeon, Jim LaValle. Love you to death as a sponsor for the podcast. Throwing up some really pretty ball pythons. And, go check him out. Give him some love. Infinite Possible Pythons, Nathan Granoff, also the sponsor of other podcasts. My sponsors love to sponsor podcasts, by the way. So if you have a podcast and you'd like a sponsor, please hit up my sponsor because they love to sponsor other podcasts. John Woodruff, MADRIVER, good to see you always posting your stuff and everything, counting down the days till Tinley Park. What's this? Amazing spot cleaning, $5.99 for 2 of them on Amazon. Look out. This should have a Red Line Science label on it, shouldn't it? Shouldn't they have this product? And if they do, support whoever's got it in the reptile game. Reptile Collective, Steve Beamer. Man, look, still with the same weird scaleless rat snake hybrid. Very cool looking, though. I mean, we were just talking about all the hybrids of corn snakes earlier today on the holdback rack. Savage Constrictors has re-upped. For how long? Who knows? We'll find out. But the tattoo shop and the constrictor page both sponsor the podcast. So got to go love those Savages because they certainly love what we're doing over there. I think they love what we're doing over here. But yeah, check them out. Strange Creations. Josh, there you are. And announcing Chris's contest to stop looking and sounding like shit giveaway, which I absolutely love to death. And, I think it's great that somebody out there is going to win this wonderful setup and they're going to look and sound amazing. And I did not really mean that I meant it as a joke the other day when I said that about when I posted about this, on the last podcast. I said I didn't know if it was Chris's old used equipment that he didn't want anymore. I was totally kidding. But Chris piped up in the chat and straightened me out. And I loved it because it showed me he was there and he was listening. in on that podcast. So, and finally, I'm going to bring your attention to the Ebony and Ivory Reptiles that we have just had a logo change. Here's the old logo in the background, the round one that was very busy and also laserable and reproducible. But, you know, at the same time, this new one is just banging bold and out there. How are you, Matt? Are you good, bro? I got you tonight. You good? Yeah.
I'm good.
There you are. Now I got you.
Yeah.
So now I will say, I think we have a little bit of a delay. So I don't want to, I'm going to try my hardest not to talk over you, but I wanted to tell you, you know, again, condolences on, you know, loss of a family member, and it puts you on the road traveling. You know, you went from, where are you normally residing?
Up in Reno, Nevada.
You're in Reno. So, and now you're in San Diego now?
Yeah, I'm back home in San Diego. I was born and raised down in San Diego. I've been up in Reno, Nevada now for the last since 2005. So been up there for a while now. But yeah,
you like
came
Reno?
back home.
You like the biggest little city in Nevada or whatever they call that thing?
Right.
I honestly, that was my snowboarding spot, bro. I would fly into there and go to Mount Rose, right? St. Rose, Mount Rose, something like Mount Rose. Mount Rose is where I used to snowboard. We went a couple times, and honestly, I loved Reno. I like flying in that, you know, little small place, and a hell of a place to go to ski and snowboard because it's not really busy, and you guys got some great spots there.
Oh yeah, man. It's not a bad place to be at all. Nice to live here. We do got a lot of Californians though moving over from Northern California, you know, but
I've heard that.
It's as far as snowboarding, man, I went to Mount Rose. I've been snowboarding up there a few times, but the last time I went, I had a fresh pair of brand new Oakleys. I paid $120 for it and lost them in that snow, man. So somebody got them, and I haven't went back since then. So
I tumbled sideways down that mountain and didn't come off in a wheelchair, bro. I don't understand it. I fall 12 fucking feet. I don't bounce. I break my back. But I fought like, dude, the ski patrol came racing down to me and was like, dude, are you okay? You have no idea how nasty that looked. And I'm like, I'm fine, bro. I'm just chilling on the ground, collecting myself, just getting the courage to get back up on the fucking board.
Yeah, man.
You know, he's just like, dude, you're a maniac on that thing. And I'm like, I just really don't care. It's just so much fun. Like, I grew up skateboarding in Louisiana, bro. It's flat. Like, it's not like you just ride over to the neighbor's half pipe and just chill with them. You know what I mean? Like, that doesn't exist, right? You're pushing yourself everywhere. You're like fucking pushing. And there's no fun skating. There was no skate parks here when I was a kid, man. So going to that mountain was really fun. And it was a nice facility, and it was so close to the city and shit. Yeah. Like, it was so convenient. So if anybody out there should really be interested in snowboarding and skiing and stuff, they should go check out Mount Rose and check this out.
It's a fun place to be for sure, man.
Yeah, so what brought you to Reno? Military brought you up there or what?
No, I actually so my older brother actually ended up going to the University of Nevada to play football in '99, and then I got a scholarship in 2005 to come up here and play basketball. And so I came up here, moved up here with him my senior year of high school. Me and my two younger brothers did, and we've been up here ever since, man. You know, I left to go to Oregon for a few years where I went to play college football up in Oregon for a few years. And then we came back. I've been back here since 2010, not going anywhere else. So, yeah, I've been here for a minute now.
So you like Reno then? It's pretty settled in there. Okay.
Yeah, pretty settled in, man. Started the family. Like you said, I got a good career with the military here with I'm active Army National Guard here. So, yes, I mean, no reason to move at all yet. So,
no reason to upset that. You know, I mean, you definitely could set in there and get I mean, do you plan on retiring from the military as like an older person, or you plan on continuing your career in the military like that, or?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I just got promoted actually. For anybody that's out there listening that's in the military or ever been, I just got my E7 here last week, so I just got promoted to that, and I've got 13 more years, so I'll probably knock them out. I'm only 34. I'll be 35 next month, so I'll knock out this last 13 years and then retire after that.
Yeah, well, that sounds good, and it sounds like you're already building yourself up in this business and stuff before you retire. So,
Oh yeah,
um,
for sure.
so at this time, look, let's take a minute and we'll do a shout out to the people that have been waiting in the chat. I'm gonna go ahead and put up the Patreon members. Thank you very much, Patreon members, and I'd like to thank an old Patreon member that sent me an awesome fucking T-shirt that I'm wearing right now. Rich McCall Serpents, just like classic comic book cover looking T-shirt that he made. I'm so glad he had one in my size. Just south of fat ass, just north of skinny sexy. That he actually had one still in my size because I thought it was fucking amazing. And dude, I got to tell you, after having him as a Patreon sponsor and member for years ago, right? Like in 2015, 16, 17, Matt, to actually
Yeah.
see him still doing it and see him like with a brand and with a killer T-shirt and stuff feels really good. Like it feels good to come back to the scene and see people that were supporting me in the past actually have been prospered in the hobby. So some of them are definitely in this chat. So let's see who we got here. Let's scroll up to the top here and get some of our Jonathan Sell. He's one of my old pals we met years ago. Can you believe his name really is Sell? He really is Jonathan Sell Reptiles. It's ridiculous. And his name is really strange. You guys with the names, with the cool business names. I mean, there was nothing cool about Sean, Patrick, or Bradley at all. So I had to fucking leave me out of it completely. There was nothing cool about it. C-SERPENTS, MORPH, Stan. Yes, Stan doesn't have a cool name. He could be Stan by your serpents or something like that. You never know. Hold back rack. I saw you guys earlier, halfway into a margarita. Then we'll see you later when you're back on the show. Yeah, because I wrote Margarita Time. Reptile Collective, another sponsor in the house. Conan, good to see you. Thank you a lot for being local and being a Patreon sponsor. Texas Kid, good to have you. Marshall Van Thor, flying to Arlington tomorrow for the Reptile Expo. Let's see. Will's Hella Heat. There we go. Well, I was about to go to bed till I saw there was a show tonight. Yeah, man, I didn't do a show. What? Last Friday I didn't do a show? I don't remember. Yeah, last Friday I didn't have anybody. But this Friday I do because I didn't go to Arlington. Odds, good to see you. And thanks for that comment you left that said, here's your comment. KY Constrictors, PCF Funny Royals. I got that oak sign cut for you, bro. We'll get with it. Let's see who else. That's good. And here you are. Yep, there you go. My mom uses my government name, huh? That's funny. All right, and then there's Jaffe up in Canada. We'll end it with you. We'll end it with a Canadian. How about that? So you, well, how long you been doing the reptile thing then?
Oh man, I mean, just like everybody else, pretty much. I've had reptiles all my life. Started off with the iguanas and the bearded dragons and ball pythons as a kid. Had two iguanas that were mean as they were crazy mean. But
so
as far as
you're how old? 35, 34?
Yeah, 34. I'm 34.
Okay.
Yeah. So now though, I got back into as far as like trying to make this real ball python thing and have fun with it, was in 2019. I got into it, tricked the wife into getting me one for Christmas. And then she ended up getting me like one from Petco or something like that. And I took it back within like 2 days and then went on MorphMarket. And before I knew it, I had 3, 5, and then the numbers just continued,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
man.
has that been really your reptile of choice or what? Thus far, has it been like where I mean, it's obviously where you settle investment wise, right? But
right.
Where was it otherwise? I mean,
like my favorite reptiles are honestly, I mean, other than the ball pythons, are any type of big lizard. Man, I love monitor type lizards. I have an Argentine tegu, who is my favorite animal by far. Like, no, I don't have a snake. I don't care. I've got some.
You are not a small man, though, correct? How tall are you?
I'm 6'7", about 295 pounds.
Holy shit. Let me guess, your favorite lizard is really, truly, you don't want to admit it though, is the smallest gecko, right? Like the littlest, daintiest gecko is your favorite lizard, right? Like,
man.
So like what's funny is I was just telling my friend a joke last night. I said, whatever you do not take phone calls as jokes ever. Even if your friends play jokes on you. One of the linebackers for the New Orleans Saints called me once looking for a big lizard, and he asked me originally if I had Komodo dragons, and I went on like a joking. I thought it was a friend of mine playing a joke on me.
Yeah.
You know, and it wasn't him who always played a joke on me. Okay, he always called and played some joke on me where he pretended to throw his voice some way or another. And I was like, I'm not taking this guy very seriously. And he ended up coming in and buying a water monitor. And I didn't follow football at the time. And the guy leaves my shop, and this kid comes in, and he's like, was he still in? Was he just in here? And I'm like, yeah. And he's like, he plays for the Saints. And I'm like, yeah. And I was like, I figured something. The dude was ripped as hell, perfectly fit, gigantic fucking guy, right? But he left with a water monitor because I was like, look, man, this is as close as you're going to get to something that you can love on that's going to be big, right?
Yeah.
But it's going to be big in years. Like he left with a baby water monitor and the full wherewithal to take care of it and everything. And honestly, it fit the man, right? Like the pet fit the man.
Right.
And then I was in East Bay Vivarium in Berkeley, California one time, and a guy was walking around, a giant man was walking around with a crocodile monitor on his shoulder.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's not a crocodile monitor, is it? And he was just like, are you serious? And I was like, no, I just am blown away. I know that's a crocodile. There's no other monitor that looks like that. But goddamn, dude, you really have that thing on your shoulder right now.
Those things are
that's
vicious,
scary. No, but this was a very friendly croc monitor, and he had it from a baby, and he raised it. And as intelligent as they are, just like lace monitors, as long as you're not hand feeding it, you're good. You're good. So do you have any big, massive lizards now? What do you keep in Reno?
No, just the biggest one I have right now. Well, I do have the tegu. He's about 3.5 feet right now.
Okay.
And then I have a caiman lizard, who he's about 2.5, almost 3 feet. Those are my two bigger lizards.
The caiman lizard? Do you like it?
Yeah, man. He's
epic, isn't it?
Yeah. It's unlike any other reptile I've ever had. His diet is crazy. I mean, we go to the
I was going to ask you about
local
your diet
market.
If you went to a Asian market or something.
Yeah, for sure. We do. We go get the snails and stuff for him and the shrimp, and then chop it up and mix it up with cat food as well. And then give him a little calcium stuff and all that kind of stuff. And he does good, man. I mean that's probably the angriest lizard we got. We got him last year at March Tinley when we went out to Tinley for the first time. We came back with him and my wife's retic.
That's a creature right there, though. Like that's one of those animals where, like, even if it's you can't really expect to tame it, even though it might be tameable at some point.
Yeah.
You just have to keep what's kept. You have to keep what you get. Gosh, it's a species I never got, man. So hats off to you for the courage to go down that line. And I did the Chinese croc lizards. Is
that those the ones with the red eyes?
No, not the crocodile skinks. I did the these are the ones that look like alligator bodies. They're very I don't know the scientific name slipping my mind right now. I don't know. They're ancient. Like, let me look them up. Why in the world? I'm gonna kill myself when I figure crocodile lizard. Shinosaurus, yes, Shinosaurus crocodiliurus. They are insane looking, absolutely wild looking lizards here. I mean, like, of course I'm gonna get tabs that aren't working. But you see them here. The body, the tail is like a gator, exactly like a gator. Is here you go, a little bit closer.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Picture. There you go. So they have a blunt face like an agamid, but their back is spined like an alligator, and it feels exactly like an alligator. But if you look closely at the tail is like an alligator's tail that's just straight been glued on the lizard. And these are aquatic all the time, and they're little though. They're only like the shinnies get about that big or so. But man, that is a spectacular. They eat all kind of shit too. They'll eat crustaceans and all kind of stuff because they got really strong jaws. And they're violent underwater eaters. They'll smash it against rocks and all kind of stuff like that. And honestly, you usually only see them at aquariums and zoos. But they were in Tinley Park a few years ago. The very last shipment legally allowed into the United States came into Tinley Park in 2018, I believe is when it was. And yeah, there's another one. They're just incredible, man. So like, it's a little lizard though. It's not a giant lizard, but it's a lizard that has like it has such the personality of like Godzilla, right? Like it comes out of the water and it's like, fuck, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah,
like, and they're really aggressive.
Yeah, that's a nice looking lizard.
Like,
man.
They are gorgeous, but they are not for handling. They're not for holding. They're not for holding. There's like caiman lizards though, the same thing. So like for those folks out, like I'm gonna put it up here because we had an experience on Hold Back Rack podcast today where people that are ball python people just sometimes don't know what they're talking about. But these are the caiman lizards, guys. They are mostly snail eaters in the wild. They crunch stuff up and all that good stuff. So
yeah, and ours has like I said, he's tamed down in that we got him last year in March. We hold him now. He goes to our because we do educational shows and stuff like that. And he's just he's amazing.
That's like so much lizard in a little bitty body of lizard. Like, look at the head on that thing. The head on that thing is just like, I'm gonna get real big and I'm gonna fuck you up.
Yeah,
like I mean, just like but they are just tremendous creatures. Like they are absolutely amazing lizards. So I mean, definitely, I'm very proud of your bravery of getting in here. Look at these teeth on these suckers for being snail eaters. These crazy weird mouths and stuff that these things have developed. There you go, sucking down a snail. I bet it's really cool to watch them feed.
Oh yeah, and they even
are they very messy?
Is
he extreme messy?
Yeah, very messy, man. The food gets everywhere, and
and then they
even without the shell on there. Yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. Like most big lizards,
aquatic lizards especially.
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine having Mike's monitors in your basement? Oh my god, bro! Like to wake up in the morning and go downstairs and find out that all your Mertens water monitors all shit at the same time, and you're like, oh, I gotta climb in there and scrub. That's his life, man. You follow Mike at all? Have you seen his little operation? In his basement?
Yeah, I follow him. Yeah,
it's probably something to drool over, huh? If you're big lizards like that. So, how many ball pythons do you keep?
Right now we are up to, including the babies, we have about 65 to 70. But I know right now, altogether holdbacks and the breeders I currently have, I'm at 40.
Right at shows 40. Over there on that side. We always get on. I'm gonna get back to the ball python thing, but the show thing is such a mess on the West Coast. And
it's awful, man. It sucks over here, honestly. So. I actually though just signed up for the Sacramento, California show. They moved it to two times a year now, so I'm going to vend at that show here in April, and then just the two local shows that I have here.
Show? That's the same old SAC show's been going on forever, ever. They still have the San Mateo show. I wonder if they still have the San Mateo.
They still have that one too, I believe. Yeah,
that's an old one.
Yeah, so I'm gonna vend that one in April. So we'll see how it goes, man. And you know, see, I vended last year. I vended a local show here that's about 30 minutes away from me, and that one was pretty good for my first show experience. So I'm gonna do that one again this year, and then the SAC one.
You should be seeing some more shows like herp shows and stuff on that side. It seems like there would be a wide open market for that on that side of the country. Because I mean, here it's hammered. I mean, nothing against herps or, I mean, you got Repticon, you got herps, and you got all those ones in Texas, bro. There's like 4 of them in Texas that just do Texas shows. And then you've got Mickey Myers and Show Me shows, and then now you've got this Reptilian Nation show, right? You'd think that one of these guys would just hop on over to your side of the country and do more over there.
Yeah.
And then the Pac Northwest. I mean, you know, we talk about that on the Hold Back Rack podcast, is the lack of shows in the Pac Northwest, and you know, it's sad because you won't get the hobbyists unless you get the exposure, and you won't get the exposure unless you have the shows. You know what I mean? Like, so, How many shows do you think you could do a year comfortably within your distance? Just curious.
I mean, the SAC one is right here, which is 2 hours away from me. So that one twice, and then my local one is twice a year. And then I'm going to try to get out to, they have one in Modesto, California, that I'm going to try to get to, which is a few hours away from me too as well. So I'm going to try to get to those and try to do at least 6 shows this year on the West Coast. So Should
And
be
it's
fun.
not hard for you to get down to the super shows. What is that, like maybe 10 hours or 9
Yeah,
hours to get down there?
it's a 9 hour drive. 9 hour drive,
That's
and
not bad.
I might do that. So,
That's
but
not
yeah,
bad. That would be
mhm.
my drive to Daytona. Okay. That would be how far I have to go to Daytona. That's almost how far I have to go to Arlington. So,
yeah,
like, I honestly think, and I'm hammered with shows where I am like, bro, I could go to a show every weekend and
oh
like
wow,
drive. I could drive 12 hours and probably hit a show almost every weekend.
okay,
Like,
yeah,
12 hours is a long drive. But I mean, like, if I was truly a career, you know, like if I was truly like kicking the door in on shows and that was the only way I was making money, right?
right,
But where
right.
you are, man, you don't have that option. You don't
Yeah,
have
no.
an option to have a career. You couldn't have a show career unless you came all the way to hell down here. And that's
Right.
just wild, you know?
Yeah.
So what was the first show that you went to as just a person, as just a hobbyist?
Well, that was the Tinley show last year. I'd never been to a reptile show until I went to Tinley last year.
What the fuck, bro?
Yeah,
You
blew my mind, man.
The fucking pinata with all the candy on the first shot. Like, there's nothing. There's no anticipation at all, dude. That's like going to like that's like going to the hardest core red light district strip club in Germany and being like, where are we going next? And all your friends are like, bro, we ain't got shit, son. I can't help you. Tinley Park, your very first show last year.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
it was wild, man.
Fuck,
it was wild.
Dude,
man, we had so much fun. So much fun
Did
at
you
that
even
show, man.
see the show?
Right. We had, man, it was me and my wife. I mean, man, we had a blast, man. I literally walked through every table at least twice, man. We tried to go by every table and see the whole experience, man.
This is the experience I was telling Jana King that she'll never experience. You know why? Because she's never been to Tinley and she already has a podcast and she's already semi-famous. So fuck, she's fucked. She's fucked. I told her, I was like, you're fucked. You don't even get to go to a Tinley.
Right.
You get to go to a Tinley Park where you got to walk around twice and see everything. I haven't got to do that ever. Like, that's never been an actual thing for me. So, like, and I mean that we're not famous for real. We're fucking YouTube people. But at the same time, the hobbyists want to stop us and tell us how awesome we are. And I think I appreciate it. I do. Or tell us how much we suck. I mean, that's fine. I get it too. You know, it's all right. But Tinley Park 2022 October is your first show?
No, we went in March. We missed October.
Well,
we went in March.
Yeah, but it's still just as big now. Isn't March just as big as October pretty much now? I
and
think
that
it's
March,
the same size.
Yeah, that was the first March that it came back after COVID. So it was huge out there.
It was even more enormity then.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Oh, and money was flying still then.
Oh yeah.
So,
it was
like everybody
crazy.
was having a blast then. Wow. That was
nice. I never seen so much cash exchange hands. It was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild? Like the last time I went to Tinley was in 19, and I brought a friend of mine with me. My friend had helped me build my aquarium store, and he was a sheriff that ran part of he was a lieutenant in the local sheriff's department that ran part of the courthouse. And when we went to Tinley Park, I just was like, dude, hold this for me. Dude, hold this for me. Dude, hold this for me. And he was like, can we go back to the room or something and put this in the safe? Or I was like, why? And what are you worried about? And he was just like, I've never had this much money on me in my life. And I was like, it's only 20 grand, bro. It's not really that much. We're just like, most of the shit was credit cards. It's not really a big deal. And he's just like, this is making me uncomfortable. You know, so what is it like to be around reptiles in that sense that you've had them your whole life, but you've obviously watched them, but do you think that the stage is growing ever so growing? Like, where's your faith in it? How about that? For a bullshit after dark question, where are you on the market that we're currently in?
I think the market is to me, I mean, it's not like it was when I came in 2019 when it was just stuff flying off crazy. But I really think I love the stock market. So I'm one of those kind of guys. I love to invest. And if I invest in something I love for the long haul, you know. And so with that, you're going to see the ebbs and flows of it. And so, I just think it's the same exact thing. I mean, I just saw a post from Fireball, from Jeremy at Fireball, posted on his Instagram that he bought 56 or 64, I think, freedom breeder racks with 2,600 tubs. So it's like when you see stuff like that, it's like, oh, I mean, the market's not going anywhere. You just gotta, be breeding the right stuff and doing the right thing. You know what I mean?
Or supplying him with freedom breeder racks and tubs and rats to feed that shit. Yeah. I mean, at some point, I got to tell you, after doing this for so long, I'm kind of looking at these machines that I'm working with and thinking ancillary goods are my way now. Not because I think it's the way, but because I think it's now my way, because I'm truly tired of like right now, my business is doing terrible and my employee just finished out a week where we're going to basically pay her more than we made this week. And that's just a tough thing to do as a business, right? So it's just not good. So at what point do you look at your expenses and stuff and you weigh it? And maybe you're not there with ball pythons at this point, or maybe you'll never be. I hope that you're not with the number you have. And you've been pretty good with production and being able to move the animals that you've produced.
Yeah, we've been. It's been pretty good on moving the animals, and also my philosophy getting into it was always to go higher in because I want to stay small. I don't have the room to have 100 clutches, but I would like to get to the point where I could have 40 to 60 crazy clutches a year. And so, like this past year, I think we only bought 5 snakes this past year. I saw we put in about 45,000 this past year that we invested in on 5 snakes. And so that's always been our thing, is that we're going to go big on the snakes and as far, not big in numbers, but big as far as genetic power and all that kind of stuff goes. And that way, we keep our costs down, because I still breed my own rats and all that kind of stuff. So I want to keep it small so that way I can manage all that stuff.
That's a very, very hard pill to swallow. That you spent that much money on that small amount of snakes.
Yeah,
and with confidence, and I think that's great. With confidence, and I think that's wonderful. I do. And at the same time, though, there has to be reality there and your expectations and everything too. So you strike me as a guy that doesn't count his eggs before they hatch.
No.
But so how many seasons have you been productive thus far with Ebony and Ivory, or however you've done your business? Has it been this is 2019, but
2019. So this is our 3rd season that we'll be producing stuff right here. This will be our 3rd season. And yeah, like you said, I definitely don't put all my eggs in one batch, which is why I would never, like I said, I'm going to do my last 13 years of the military. You know what I mean? Because that is, I'm not going to be that guy to be like, oh, the ball python craze.
Don't be me, bro. Don't be me. You might fall off a deck and break your back and not have shit. You know what I'm saying? And otherwise you'd be like, yeah, that motherfucker fell off that deck. Yeah, when I fell off the deck, I had a retirement. Fuck. That's it. Like when I broke my back, shit, I had a 401k, or I had a E7 retirement or whatever you are at that time, E9, whatever, E10, whatever you are at that time, retirement. But I mean, dude, I didn't follow that suit at all. I did not at all. I did not buy it. I did not drink any of that Kool-Aid. I did not buy that dream. And sometimes I wish I did. And then some of my friends that have lived that life have looked at me like, oh man, I wish I lived your life. So at the same time, the grass is always greener, or at least sometimes it's greener. So no major regrets going down this road so far. Everything seems pretty good. You seem pretty solid about it.
Yeah. No regrets at all, man. Like I said, I loved it. I love doing this. So even like, I won't say if I don't never make, because I don't think anybody invests in this stuff like the way that a lot of people are without wanting to recoup that investment and go past that. But again, that's why I keep it small. So that way I know that, I could easily manage it. And then, hey, if I got to hold back animals because they're not selling right now, I don't have any problem doing that, because it's easy. I can manage what it is I have right now,
Yeah.
So
yeah, I envy that. I envy the potency of that collection for the value. I do. I find myself liking too much cheap shit, though, bro. I'm sorry. And not in the way of morphs of ball pythons. I mean, other species of snakes, and that's where I really get my thing. So you said you've got the tegus and all that stuff. I mean, the ball pythons are the breeding goal of Ebony and Ivory Reptiles, but at least you picked a name that you can expound on, right? Like you can You can expand this name to more shit. Like if you decide you want to, you know, wade around in brown water like Mike Stefani with them big monitor lizards, you can wade around in brown water too, you know? But yeah,
and that we did that on purpose because we do breed the ball pythons, but we do educational shows, we do birthday parties, we do so man.
So you guys are you doing that as a business, like as more of a business goal, the educational parties and the show and the birthday parties and stuff like that?
Okay. Yeah, so we do that and like
you do that as Ebony Ivory?
Yeah, I do that as Ebony Ivory.
Okay, great. Right.
Yeah. So, and we're going to be on the news here in our city this coming up Thursday. We're going to be on the news, and so hopefully we'll get a lot more traffic in on that stuff. So, yeah, because I love all the animals, man, and I want to get more reptiles and do more. You know, have a bigger variety. So the educational shows, man, I just love that. That's where my passion is. Like Brian Gundy, kind of in a way. Like I love what he does. You know, I love that stuff. So yeah.
Well, it's so rewarding, right? Like one of the guys posted, I just mentioned this on that podcast earlier today too. One of the guys posted on Instagram a picture of him going to a classroom last week. And I was like, I asked him how much more fulfilling his hobby was today than it was 2 days ago. Right. And he's like, oh, so much more. Everything's so different now. You know, and it's just like, yeah, of course it is. Like when you see young minds blow up over it, or you do any sort of therapy, like with either autism or even medical patients, children's hospitals, man, that's a great thing to do. Like if you can get a couple of really clean reptiles that you can permit to come into a children's hospital, you know, that's another thing, you know. Great stuff though, great things that I haven't done in my years of doing this. I haven't done them in decades. Like it's things that I try to be, you know. I think last time I did it was for one of the kids in my kids group or something. Was just like, it was a birthday party and a kid he wanted more than anything to have reptiles, and the parents didn't know anyone, and they didn't have a lot of money, and I was just like, I'll do it for free. Just, you know, tell me when. Let's do it at like a park or something. Let's not do it on your property in case some parent gets mad. Let's go. And we did it in like a public park area where we met up there with the whole party, and we had the whole thing. It was good. Because we brought tortoises and stuff that they can really mess with, you know, shit I wouldn't normally bring to a classroom, right? Bring like an 85-pound sulcata to a classroom, and it's laying like giant stinky turds in the middle of the floor. Yeah, it's never a good thing. But it's so rewarding to see that part of it. You know, you have kids yourself?
I have 3.
How old?
So we have a 13-year-old, and then I also have a 5-year-old, and so a 13-year-old daughter, a 5-year-old daughter, and then a 3-year-old son.
Man, what's that 13-year-old daughter like, bro? I don't know.
Oh man,
that 10-year-old daughter. I got a 10-year-old daughter. We should have a support group podcast.
It gets worse before it gets better. I'm telling you.
They tell me. That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. I don't know what else to do.
Yeah, she calls me her best friend. You know, I'm her guy, but at the same time, oh boy, I get the blunt end of most of the stuff as well. So
I think I hope that I'm in that same boat, and that she's still calling me her best friend in 3 more years. And that's the only nice thing she's probably going to call me in that time period. So what did she think of the snakes and stuff? She's good.
She has one. She has a little Mojave that we produced like our first year that she's kept as a pet. And so she has him. But the younger one, the 5-year-old, she's the one that helps me out the most.
Well, I was going to say, that's what I was going to get at, because that was probably when my daughter was the most into helping me around and being around the snakes, was when she was probably around 4 or 5. That's a special time. Special time when they're that old, and you know, they're just learning so much about things. Did ever have any problems with the rat thing or anything like that with the kids? Never.
No problems with it.
Bo never said shit, bro. I don't understand it. Like, I think my kid's a little sociopath, man. Like, I'm scared. Like, I'm like, oh fuck, she's like a serial killer inside. I don't even know. Like, she never said shit. Like, she'd come downstairs and rats would be screaming, and like, it was terrible. Like, it was like a pig farm around here with rats, you know? And she never said shit. So I try to ask other dads. I'm like, what the fuck did she ever say anything? You know? No. Okay. They just accept animals, right? They just accept
you know,
it, I guess. That's how it is, you know?
yeah,
So I told my mom, I was like, I don't even think I need to have the birds and the bees conversation. She's seen me pop snakes so many goddamn times. She's seen me check them in the cages so many goddamn times, you know?
right.
So let's dig into some more ball python details about you and your
Okay.
company. Have you how many clutches have you had so far?
So last year we hatched 11 clutches, and in the year before that we did 5 clutches the year before that.
Okay, so you're 16 in.
Yeah.
Using ultrasound yet?
I have an ultrasound. Last year I used it more than I have this year. This year I've honestly been just watching my females, man.
Okay. Well, it's not bad to learn the old-fashioned way, but when you have a machine to back up your eyeballs and tells you what you're seeing is accurate, that's all the better.
Yes.
So use it.
Yeah.
Spectacular, man. You guys you weren't scared. You weren't scared at all. You just jumped right in there and did the I personally find it when your collection is small, like you keep saying you want to keep yours, you'll still use the hell out of it, of course. But I think it really shines when you get into a bigger collection. That's how a guy like Will Banks or a guy like Jeremy can probably run such an op, you know, is to have that many, you know, and all that stuff. So, and I wonder if Jeremy's still super tight with the bells, if he still sells a lot of ball pythons to the bells. He used to do a lot.
I believe that he still gets a lot of the stuff from him. In
and out of that. So like, there's no doubt that would be a lot of ball pythons. Volume wise, you know. But you know, is it something that you don't want to grow that big? How big is your growth? Like, what do you think it is? What do you think your adult ball python concentration is as a fully grown breeder?
Fully grown, with adult, like all adults fully grown, I would say maxed out at about 120 adults.
120
like
adults.
maxed out at that.
60 clutches a year.
Yeah.
It's good money if you can get fucking 5 snakes that cost you $45K to produce like that. Jesus
right.
Christ.
You know, now I just got to get them to produce.
Well, I mean, and you know they're gonna get there, right? I mean, you know, like it's such a solid thing. You guys all understand my point. Whenever, like back in the day, when a banker would ask me if they could promote me on to some sort of an investment. Right? You said you like stocks and stuff. No stock ever earned anything like a ball python to me. No stock ever came even close to that level of financial performance.
Yeah.
So did that go into it with you buying in the stuff or what?
Yeah, for sure. Like we last year, so some of the females we picked up a stranger clown girl that was already 875 grams. So she's going for us right now. She's been paired.
Don't you love it when somebody else does all the hard work?
Right.
Jesus Christ, man.
You know,
come on. Talk about carry the football to the friggin' 2-yard line and just like stop and set it down and just wait for me to come over and just kick it across. Like, let me just carry it across. I mean, you have any idea how many times I've watched poor people just like friggin' just completely do that, man, like literally carry the ball to the damn end zone, but just not take it in, and it just sucks, dude. It sucks.
Man.
But for you, it's great. Even if you want to talk to them and be like, "Are you sure you want to do this? Are you sure you want to do this?" And they're like, "Yeah," and I'm like, "Okay, all right."
Yeah, we're excited about her, man.
That's wonderful. Stranger clown, 800 something grams. Somebody took a beating on that.
Yeah, we got her. We picked up a hypo clown pet desert ghost female, and she just got her first lock in with a hypo desert ghost head clown. So hopefully we could hit the triple visual hypo desert ghost clown this year. So that's the big project that we're going for. And that's just the one I love.
Hypos looked weird, interesting, and definitely not a bad way to go with it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the desert ghost hypo stuff, and with the clown in there, you know, can't lose with that one. But yeah, I like it, man.
So clown's your main
clown is
all your money.
Clown and Desert Ghost. Yeah, Clown and Desert. We ended up getting a breeder, a proven breeder, pastel double head Desert Ghost Clown girl that's started locking up here as well. And so hopefully we have a chance at hitting 3 different clutches of double visual Desert Ghost Clowns this year, and 1 Desert Ghost Hypo Clown clutch. So should be very interesting.
Hopefully it works out for you on the odds games and all that stuff. How's been your experience so far with the odds gods? Are you a lucky man, an unlucky man, or a neutral kind of guy?
I say it's been neutral, man. I've had some clutches
kind of neutral.
Yeah, but I've had some clutches that are like
Ralph Davis was a lucky fucker. He was always a lucky fuck. I mean, like, the lucky fucks out there should just not be posting their results like that. It's just bad taste.
Right.
When you got like you're breeding double, like Ralph Davis was breeding like double het lavender albino pieds and getting 8 eggs and getting like 6 fucking dreamsicles out of it.
Jeez.
Oh, it was disgusting, bro. It was disgusting. It was like literally like you're throwing shit in the air and you're like, fuck this, I'm going home. I'm done. Fuck this, I'm going home. I mean, I'm not kidding. It was deplorable like that. Like, it was like, God damn, son, who did you sell a soul to? Who did you kill babies and sacrifice them for? You know, to get to this level of magic. Right. Dude always had just luck of gold. And me, I was always an average fool. So, you know, what an average to slightly below average. But whatever. I hope this year it really turns on Ralph Davis luck for you. And I agree with the Jonathan. The DG hypo stuff is great. The only problem he's had is it's hard to let it go. Yeah, it's hard to let it go for sure. It's hard to let it go. But you know what, man? Come on, learn from Tom Crutchfield. Money in the bank is worth more than a dead snake in a tank. The ball pythons don't die. What am I kidding, right? You got to have a major problem in your facility. What's your caging of choice, sir? Let's talk about that.
My caging of choice as far as the ball pythons go right now is ARS and C-SERPENTS, because those are the 2 I use. I started off with C-SERPENTS, and I have all my hatchlings are in C-SERPENT rats. So I love those for the hatchlings. Then I have 1 ARS rat. Yeah, I want to try out Freedom Breeder this year and see how they are. So we'll see.
Honestly, you'll love Freedom Breeder, and you'll probably not want to go back to the other ones. Not that ARS isn't great, and I had them in my facility. I still have them. Actually, I got the ball pythons I have now are mostly in either PVC I made or ARS.
Mm-hmm.
Feedback right there. Yeah. So you know, the ARS racks just being powder coated. We're just in my humidity here, we're just not the greatest. So otherwise I was a big fan of the ARS stuff. But when you get Freedom Breeder, it's just so refined. Yeah, having that stainless steel aspect of it, man, it's just so like you really feel like you got so much more for your money, you know. But at the same time, I also haven't unloaded a truckload of those things and seen an invoice like that either. So I wouldn't really want to buy a bunch of Freedom Breeders. Like with Fireball Reptiles, you know what that is? That's when an accountant's telling you, hey, bro, you better spend some fucking money or else government's going to take the fucking money, right? I mean, sometimes it's a good problem to have. You know, I remember so funny thing about Mark Bell. I remember when somebody pitched Mark Bell PVC racks for the first time, and his response was, why the fuck would I want to do that? And he said, well, they'll last. You can clean them and you can wash them. And he was like, yeah, and why the fuck would I want to do that? And the guy's like, I'm missing it here, man. I'm giving you a better product for almost the same amount of money that you pay for melamine. And he's like, yeah, but melamine, every 5 years, we rip all the racks out and we fucking burn them. And I write it off on the taxes when I buy new ones. What the fuck am I going to do with a bunch of racks that I can't burn?
Right, that I can't destroy.
For the environment, burning PVC. Bad for the environment. It's bad for the environment, burning formaldehyde-infused melamine, Mark. But never mind the fact that it was a tax write-off. And that was his whole point was, screw your forever cages. I'd rather the tax write-off and rip that shit out every few years. I don't think he's saying that now. He's not saying that now. Fuck no. Not at the cost of everything now. He ain't saying that. So C-SERPENTS and ARS. You never built stuff, so that's good. You
I did.
To build stuff, or you did.
I did in the beginning, man. I had a melamine. Yeah, I had a melamine rack, and that thing weighed at least 300 pounds. I felt like.
Yeah, it did. It did, and it sagged, and it had all the other
Yeah.
issues that
Oh
melamine
yeah.
has. But you thought you were saving money, you know.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all good. So yeah, I mean, like it's good to progress through these processes, right? I mean, again, we talk about the Holdback Rack podcast. Jana King she just started keeping ball pythons 2 years ago, almost like shortly after you did. I'll call her a noob, and I'll call you like the old pro, right? You're like the old season pro. But she never had a terrarium necessarily with the snake in it like that. Like she never went through that phase, right?
Yeah.
She was just like right into the breeding, right into the rack system, right into the, you know.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think there's kind of some beauty lost there, right? Like I feel like it's like a little romance lost. What do you think?
Right. Yeah. Oh no, for sure. For sure. Anytime I look at the ARS rack, it reminds me of my, where I come from. And I love, if I scroll through my Instagram and I see my pictures with the melamine rack, I'm like, yeah, sense of nostalgia, like, that's where I came up from. But oh yeah, I think it's something about going through those little beginner struggles that are not really struggles, but just those steps to get into, where it is you want to get to that are always important.
Yeah, I think it gives you a little bit of appreciation.
Yeah, for sure.
It's just, I think it gives you a lot more. I don't know. I kind of wish I'd have grown up in South Florida catching all this crazy shit like some of these guys have. But then again, I guess I grew up like in the internet state of reptiles and all that.
Yeah.
And I got to find what I liked from books and from pictures, and not just from what the old guys were bringing me to see in the woods.
Right.
So let's go back to ball pythons, and let's, I'm kind of scatterbrained everywhere tonight, but
you all right?
where would you like to go from here? With like, not just clown, but like, is there other genes that you want to get into? Where can we think about, Matt going from here with the ball python?
I would love to build on the clown project, like I said, with the DG hypo clown stuff, but I just want to add a lot of codom. My favorite codom right now is the Stranger and the Hurricane gene. So I'm working those two into the project right now. I would like to get in some lace stuff at some point and work that into the project. Yeah, and so
popped up on here. Who was that? Will? Was that Will? It said lace is greater than DG in my honest. Jesus fucking. How do you know it's not DG? How do you know it's not DG? That's my question. How do you know it's not DG? So if you're gonna pick one over the other, I mean, again, like I never thought DG would be anything because I thought everybody would have it for nothing. I truly did not think the Bells would squander it the way that they did, and I never got into it for that reason. That's my excuse for losing, and I'm sticking to it. I made plenty of money with clown. I can't complain about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, so let's see who else we got here. What's up, Derek? I see Derek just logged in. Derek's Reptiles.
Oh yeah,
man, yeah, Derek's blown up with that channel. Jesus Christ, with him and all.
Oh man, it's crazy.
He don't stop though, and he wants to have somebody on. He's like, "Come on my podcast, come on my podcast, come on my podcast, come on my podcast. Hey, come on my podcast. Yo, come on my podcast."
Yeah, he's good people.
But yeah, he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's relentless. I love it. Holdback Rack said, to be honest, hypo is my favorite color changer. Recessive. I don't care if it's cheap, it slaps. You're welcome.
Yeah,
it was the first morph I ever invested in. It was one of those things we brought to. We forced the hypo name down your throats because everybody was calling it Ghost, loser of a name, and we got that a little bit straight. But I mean, I would not have thought to let's throw Desert Ghost in hypo. Let's throw a hypo-ish codom in with the hypo recessive and see what happens. But it definitely looks cool. I mean, it gives me almost that caramel glow sort of weird color to it. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of neat. So
yeah, I didn't believe it was as good as it's advertised to be until I picked up the hypo Desert Ghost head clown male, and he came and it's those two genes together, I think, have a lot of potential, even just by themselves with dark codom stacked on top of those, even without the clown. So yeah, that's a crazy combination.
Yeah, at this point, I'm not even making any real assumptions on what I think animals are going to look like as they come out. I'm just more or less waiting for you guys to show them to us. I mean, really, because I after seeing like the shit that Levance produced this week, that crazy Angolan python looking thing that he produced
Yeah,
this week,
right.
like seeing that kind of thing just blows my mind when I'm like, bro, you're telling me for real it just doesn't have bumpy skin. Like, really,
Yeah.
it's not a hybrid. Like, it really is a legit ball python cross. It's incredible looking. It's incredible looking for a ball python cross. You know, it's absolutely outstanding. And so, like, I see you guys getting there now, and now I don't even want to make an assumption on what I think is going to happen. Like, I'm just like, oh, well, do you think ball pythons have anywhere to go? Yeah, eventually. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They'll breed a pastel with 5 other genes that have been around for 30 years and produce a neon pink and blue snake soon.
Yeah. And then
Somebody
the craze will start all over for pastel. I just saw holdback racks. I definitely am thinking about getting puzzle. I got my eyes on a puzzle. That's on MorphMarket right now.
You knew I was getting to that. You knew I was getting to that question. Yeah. What about my puzzle gene, man? I don't know. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, you could do that, or you could keep trying to, you know, you could keep mixing leopard, acid, and pinstripe together trying to get there, because you're definitely getting some weird. That animal that animal caught my eye on when I was looking at your Instagram page.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, does this have a puzzle in it for some reason? Like, when I just saw the back of it, I was like, does that have a puzzle in it? And then I went and clicked on it, and I was like, oh, no, it doesn't have a puzzle in it, but it looks like it could be. You know? Yeah,
she's I actually produced 2 of those girls this year, and it was weird because they came from a female maker, banana acid pinstripe female maker. So all the bananas were supposed to be female, and the non-bananas were supposed to be male. But he gave me both of the girls that look like that are female, and then a banana acid head clown girl as well. Okay. So yeah, it was weird, but
it works that way sometimes with that nano stuff, man. It's weird like that sometimes. Especially with female making stuff. Female making stuff's fun. Yeah. That was something else. To live through that was something else.
Oh yeah, I bet, man. I bet.
Have your money tied up in that sucker. That was different. You know, I mean, but it was fun. It was fun, but it was like, really? A sex linked ball python? That's crazy. You know, but I mean, I made the right calls though, man. I bought a male making male. The very first year I made babies, I traded one of my males and some more extra money for a female making male. So that the year that the male making males went down in price to like nothing, females were $5,000 a piece, and I sold like 10 of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was great. I think we made like 20 something females that year. We sold like 15 total and kept 10. And man, that was just good. It was good. Like, it was money on the males, then it was money the year after a little bit, and then it was real money the year after on the females. It was a solid 3-year stretch of printing money off of bananas. I do miss the fuck out of that snake. That was a ride, bro. We were printing money off that snake for a while. So
wow.
So talk to me about the logo a little bit. I mean, what's up here? What decided to make you change from the round logo to this new one, and who did the new one?
So my buddy Walt Lehman out here in Reno, Nevada, he does logos and stuff, and I had him do it for me, and I changed it up because, as you saw, the other one, the circle one, it is a nice logo, but it's just too busy really for people to do a lot of stuff with it that I want done with it, like hats and all that kind of stuff that I want done nicely with it. So I told him, make me something clean. The bottom of it, or the N in it, we kind of made it, instead of the and sign, we just made it like an N, but it looks like the bottom of the state of Nevada. And he threw that in there, and yeah, man, just something nice and clean.
I like the bottom of the state aspect of that. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, I know it's clean and it's easy to produce, man. It's really easy to produce. Super easy to produce. So so there's a door and there's you. So that's the size of you in a door. I was telling my employee, I was like, I'm interviewing a door size gentleman. A door size. Yeah, you're a fairly sizable guy. So it's good to see, but that helps also introduce people to things too.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Because then it provides a little bit of level of comfort. As you came in, lizard. Look at that, boy.
Yeah, that's when we first got him. He was a baby, little baby.
Little baby, yep.
Yeah.
August last year. Will's hella heat. Look at those damn arms. Yeah, bro. Those arms, he ain't a small man, that's for sure.
Right.
He's a fully grown. He's what in the South we would call a fully grown man at this point. And that's that. So lots of clowns, lots of just looking through your Instagram page, you guys. So check them out, Instagram.com/Ebony and Ivory Reptiles. And you can look in on all the projects they got going on. I mean, I'm going way back, right? So
yeah, you going?
I like going way back. I like going way back.
Yeah.
I like seeing the early days, the motivated days, right? Like, look at this, man. You get the headset on, doing the presentation and everything.
Yeah, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, we love doing those things, man.
That's awesome, man. That's great. Definitely need more people out there doing this kind of stuff. Don't ask me to do it because it's very hard for me to do it now. But before when I was walking around, that shit was way fun and easy, and a lot of fun to pack up all the animals and do all of that.
Yeah, it's a lot of work. A lot of people don't realize how much that is, just packing all those animals up, man, and getting them.
Dude.
Oh God,
them all safely moved and everything. I was like, yeah.
Then at least 2 of the snakes are going to poop during the move, and it's like, oh God, it's just
it's not like even doing a reptile show where when you get there, you're in a room with a bunch of like-minded people that don't mind using the bathroom and clean your cages and shit. You go to a school and you're like, what am I gonna do?
Right?
I can't throw this nasty shit in there. I can't do that.
Got to bring a whole roll of paper towels with me.
Yeah, exactly. You got to be able to clean them out at the vehicle type thing.
Oh yeah.
It's it definitely gives you some extra things to think about when you're packing shit up for the weekend.
Yeah, I just started getting back on my my Instagram, and I was gone from Instagram since like last year, like October, I believe.
Well, I mean, I just highlight people's Instagram pages because it's the easiest place to go and look at photographs. But you got a MorphMarket page too, though, right?
Yeah, we do have a few things up on MorphMarket.
Go find your MorphMarket page real quick, just so I could, let me go do it.
Yeah, we
see what we got over here, and
we have a few things up there. We have a lot of stuff that we still need to put up there because I've been trying to just I want to have some stuff for the show in Sacramento. So I just been holding off on even putting anything up really, so that way we can see what we do there, and then we'll upload everything that we don't sell from there afterwards that we're not going to keep.
Ebony and Ivory, all underscored, Ebony_and_Ivory_Reptiles on MorphMarket.com, or you can just go to the stores listing and do a search for either Matt LaGrone or Ebony and Ivory, or any of those words in any of those words, and it'll pop right up. 8 listings is not nothing when you have animals with zeros behind them. Really?
Yeah,
not nothing at all. That's not nothing. That's definitely not nothing. There's a few really nice animals there. That a few really quality animals there. That acid gene's treated you well, yeah? You've done pretty well with it so far?
Yes, I have. In the acid stuff this year. Well, with those females growing up, I think we're going to put that male to a few more girls this year that are in the clown project or whatever, and get it into a few more, and then move on from that male. But yeah, I love what acid has done. I just can't wait to see it on the Desert Ghost. I've seen a few acid Desert Ghosts up on MorphMarket, so I want to see it in a Desert Ghost clown combo. Be nice, I believe.
Yeah, I want to see more acid puzzle stuff and all that type of stuff too. I think that stuff would be really cool. I
think puzzle at some point will be the next. In my eyes,
it'll be the next clown.
Yeah, I think
it's the closest thing to the next clown that has that potential. I mean, that's not ego talking. That's just definitely the next clown.
Yeah.
If you can stomp clown enough, I mean,
right. Yeah.
The sad thing is that clown tends to just take and spin off everything into its own little world, and I just don't know that any gene is capable of doing that, Matt.
Right. Yeah.
I'm not saying that puzzle has it. I'm not saying that anything has it. I'm not saying that it does, because I don't think it does. But I think it'll still be different enough
Yeah,
to
yeah,
matter. Like it'll be different enough to matter, you know. And so like, and when they're all having this conversation in the chat, Weirdo came from his cryptic puzzle stuff, and another reason I swear it's migraine. Dude, Weirdo was in my original puzzles, in the very first puzzles, and Weirdo is Daddy Platty. Somebody just proved it like 2 weeks ago. Somebody just posted up and sent me messages about it, Will. That you know, that weirdo gene that Ozzy's been messing with out of the puzzles, it was Daddy, or it made Daddy Platty looking animals when it was bred to a lesser. So you know, that's something that I mean, it's just like, dude, these projects are so crazy. Like when they started, it like I had cryptic hypo puzzles. So I thought cryptic came in the puzzles with the Desert Ghost project, right? I didn't think cryptic was in puzzles also. So yeah, and it's definitely Daddy on the weirdo aspect of it. It's Daddy. But I just like to see some of these other genes just throwing more and more and more different mutations. It's kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
Clown's never done that. Clown's never thrown another gene. I mean, if you want to call Blade, but I wouldn't say that Clown threw Blade, because as I've said, what have I said? What did I say? To say that your Clown has Blade in it and your Blade has Clown in it are two completely different things. I said something like, you guys know Clown with a little bit of Blade in it, and it actually is that you guys know Blade with a little bit of Clown in it, because basically a Blade was just a genetic reduced pattern banded animal, and there's many of us that have that as a gene. Many of us have it by the hundreds of it, like throughout our collection. Some of the older breeders, they might all have all Blade normals because they only saved banded, pretty reduced normals that only threw those. So like, you know, have I heard that Blade is a bloodline and not a morph? Yeah, I've heard that until I've bred an incredibly banded animal to a normal and made banded babies from it. And then I'm like, okay, this is a selectively bred thing and a morph. It's both things. I think it's just, if you selectively bred Blade, you could make it insane looking, guys. Like you could make it wild, like crazy.
Yeah.
But I don't think that it's necessarily like a, you know, morph like a lot of people want to think it is. So anyway, yeah. So like Clown for me ended with that, because I was in the reduced pattern market, and now the market is not reduced pattern. Like you don't want reduced pattern. You want as much busyness in your Clown as you can get. So yeah. I don't know. Puzzle stuff is, I don't know. Puzzle Clowns were not the greatest considering, but they also were very basic at that point. What's the most impressive ball python you know of? What's your drool factor? You got anything to like stick for?
Oh man, I've seen Levance's
that one he just hatched.
No, not that one. It was the stranger DG Clown that he produced, and that's what made me fall in love with the stranger. And that animal to me is like, I haven't seen a better animal than that. I just love the way that animal looks. What else? That DG almost Pompeii that Canova just put out the other day on that video.
I did not see that.
Did you see that?
I did not see that one.
If you look on his IG, he has a picture. He has a reel of it.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a reel of it right up at the top of his IG. That animal is ridiculously stunning.
Yeah, some of the stuff he's putting out would definitely make you want to do this type of stuff. Did we hit a DG Pompeii? Yeah, that thing looks like a blood python. Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
That thing looks like a fucking blood python. This guy?
Yeah.
That one. It looks like a blood python. It looks like a Borneo.
That thing's crazy, man.
No doubt.
Yeah, so those are the things. Those are the things that right now are just catching my eye, and making me think outside the box. Because I definitely don't want to try to make the exact same thing as what they're making, but see what else you can add to that to even make it better is the goal. So
Well, yeah, definitely add to it and make it redder with like that stuff
Yeah.
like Levance just popped out, or like this
Right.
stupid shit here. This it's dumb, bro.
Yeah.
That's just dumb. That's just fucking retarded.
And that's got a
fucking dumb.
pinstripe in it. It's crazy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like what I like seeing about this is the fact that he did put pinstripe in that Pompeii and just basically here's when pin can really shine again, you know?
Yeah.
Like, don't write off the morph that made me more money than any other morph other than Banana. No, there's no way Bananas came close to pinstripes for me. No way.
So
No
then you were in it. You were in it in the very, very beginning.
I
Then,
bought, yeah, man. I paid 25 grand for a pinstripe male.
Yeah,
so I had a pinstripe in 2003, dude. I had a pinstripe in 2003. Yeah, I got a pinstripe the same day Wilbanks got a pinstripe. So like Wilbanks and I started on the same day on that one. You know,
and so and you got yours from Barchek.
Yeah, they all came from Barchek at that point. Yeah, that was all the original stuff from Barchek. Like that was the only. Like there was not even a knowledge. We didn't even know if there was a super pinstripe yet or not.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like we didn't know. It was like that. But yeah, it was the summer of 2003 that we bought those animals. Yeah.
Okay.
And Wilbanks produced in 6 months and I didn't produce until the following year.
Okay.
But those were the days, man. I mean, when a $25,000 snake was worth $20,000 2 years later.
Jeez, yeah,
like,
that's good,
bro. We were printing cash, cash, literally printing cash. Like it will never get easier to make money ever, like that, ever.
Right.
Like it was so easy to make money. It was like I'm so spoiled, man. I'm so spoiled. It's so spoiled, so spoiled. You know? But. You know, so like, you know, when you throw something like puzzle in the mix or something, like they're having this little conversation amongst themselves, right? I think GHI and Mojave were meant to go with puzzle. I haven't seen a better combo with Codoms and puzzle. I mean, honestly, I think that they look spectacular. So like the GHI puzzle is amazing. Like this. I want a palm puzzle though, right? Like I mean, honestly, a palm puzzle really like you get there. You'll eventually get there, guys. You'll eventually get there, you know. And of course, State 48. They mentioned State 48's clutch of puzzle, lesser GHI puzzles. That stuff was pretty incredible. You know, but yeah, some of these animals really want to sell me back into ball pythons. But when I think about buying 5 snakes for $45,000 that are all genes that I've already owned, that I've already had to sell for $35 a gene, it's scary to me. Right? It's scary to me.
Yeah.
But at the same time, man, you're not scared. You're not scared. So what's next? What's the next buy? Is there a next buy? Is there a for this?
Yeah, like I said, I got my eyes on a puzzle head Desert Ghost male.
Okay.
That's been up on MorphMarket for a little bit now. If that one goes, I know I'm in Will Morrow's Patreon, and I know he'll be making some this year, some more puzzle head Desert Ghost. So that is I want to add the puzzle to my collection and that route because I already have a lot of clown females that are head Desert Ghosts. And so then I'll just be able to blend the whole 3 together or, you know, work either one of those double recessive projects with the same females. So,
man, that's the only way to do it. Do not work a triple recessive project with hets. Do not work a homozygote with double recessive or a double homozygote with a single recessive, and you'll get there so much faster and you'll have enough to sell. Like I would say back in the day, you may be the first to have them, bro, but I'll be the first one to sell them. I don't matter. It don't matter to me how many you got on a poster, nerd. You know, let Kevin McCurley make the first one. I'll make the first 30 to sell, you know? Yeah. And that was it. That's what I did with G-Stripes, man. I'm not kidding you. You might have made the first one. Guarantee you I was making 20 more of them. Like, oh, just show me where to go, bro. Show me where to line. Oh, pastel G-Stripes sell, huh? Okay. No problem. Super pastel, drop it on a G-stripe, make a hets, drop it back.
Yeah.
Done. You know? And it was, again, printing as easy as printing money. Now I don't think it's as easy. I think it's definitely not as cheap to print that much money.
Yeah, no, man.
Like it was then. Then it was way cheaper to print that much money if I can make sense of that,
Yeah.
I look at some of these projects on here, and honestly, the numbers have me feeling pretty good. Go to MorphMarket. 48,741 in all of North America. That's really not bad. The number went down. So, those green sticks in the stock market had something to do with this, right? Like, if we'd had red sticks since the new year, this would not be this way, right? I'm sure you agree with that. You say you follow the stock market, bro. We've had quite a few really nice green sticks since the new year. A lot more green sticks than I thought we would have. I did not think our economy would have come back this strongly, right? But I guess the quantitative tightening worked, and CPI data came in last week, and inflation is not up like people thought it was. It's actually going down, and it looks like the economy may be correcting itself already.
Yeah.
That could be incredible.
It'll be a good thing. It'll be a good thing for sure.
I hope that's it. I really do. I hope that's it. And I don't know of any love the Pompeii makers. Yeah, Puzzle will make okay. What I'm gonna tell you guys about Puzzle is you're not ready for when Justin Kabilka comes out with that shit. Like, you're not ready. Like, you gotta realize he's been fucking with it since the beginning. Like, and he's never really sold it. He's just kept it and quiet. Like, you don't hear him talk shit about it. You don't hear nothing about it. You better believe it's just being worked in and 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 worked in. Yeah. It's like, you don't understand the flavor that he's rolling into the dough over there. I mean, I think he's working it in really well. And when he's going to come out with it, it's going to be like, and it's going to blow you guys out. Sean, can the puzzles with blocky patterns still make some of the wild patterns, or they make more blocky? I'm telling you, that is the difference in cryptic and non-cryptic. It's got to be. Like, the weird shit that I've seen from Puzzle is they're either incredibly clean and reduced pattern, or they're busy and quote unquote ugly. If you ask the population. So if you have a cryptic puzzle, it's just generally not as attractive. Now, I believe the cryptic gene is responsible for the belly striping, though, which is really weird. So, like, I think there's a lot of weird stuff that I also think that the cryptic helps bring the pattern up on the head more, like brings it up to the top of the head more. It's fucking.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right. It's like, how about this? Other than his confusion puzzles, why don't we just call all of this shit confusing now and be done with it? Because Puzzle, to me, since I let it go, like, so many people are pulling crazy shit from it. It's like, it was all in there originally. I don't know why it never showed up for me as crazy shit, but it just didn't. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird, man. It's weird. Like, now I can now remember hatching like busy hypo puzzles and being like, oh, that's why they were busy.
Yeah.
Because they had another gene. I don't know. It's wild. When you
that's another project that's crazy, is that hypo puzzle project. I think hypo puzzle to me is probably better than the puzzle Desert Ghost. To me, the look of it. So
the color coming off of it and stuff, because it's all from the original mail from Tracy's book. That's the original mail hypo that I used, that really reduced pattern, which I would probably call could be a blade hypo even. But there ain't no telling what that whole line would look like had I used a different male that was busy and all ugly and had alien eyes all over him and all that stuff. Hypo puzzle saved puzzle, according to SERPWorks. Whatever you say, man. Whatever you say. Hypo puzzle didn't save puzzle. It just, my dumb ass should have made everything puzzle back then. When I made the hypo double hets, everything should have been made. I mean, I made caramel and albino hets, but neither of them ever produced anything. But they are all mean though. The attitude is definitely there in puzzle. There's no doubt about that. So, oh man. What else do we have to talk about, sir? What else you want to address? Anything special?
Oh man. I mean, everything over here is going, man. Breeding season is, in full fledged right now, and pairing up stuff left and right. You know, yeah, I mean, we're just going, man. We're going, getting ready to go to Tinley here in October. This will be our first October Tinley. So I hear the October one is better than the March one, but we'll see. You know,
Yeah,
but yeah, other
well,
than
I mean,
that,
it was always bigger and more people, and I don't know if
yeah,
that's good. I don't know if that's good. I think it has plenty of fun and plenty of people the way it is now, but
right,
or the way it was then. Shit, I haven't been since 2019, and I
yeah.
hear it's even gotten crazier since then, which is wild to me. At what point is this show going to actually transcend that center? I don't know if it's going to or not, but do you think it should get bigger? Or are you,
I
where's your
like
position?
not. I mean, from the one that I went to, I mean, I think that one. I mean, yeah, I liked it. I mean, it was kind of shoulder to shoulder in there. So at some points, I mean, if you are really into trying to invest and get in there and get something, you got to get the VIP pass so you could come in at 8 in the morning versus general public at 10 in the morning. So that way you could go around, and move about freely. Because once 10 o'clock hits, from 10 o'clock to doors closing, I mean, it's packed in there. So,
That's it.
but yeah,
That's it.
I think it's just, I mean, I definitely think it should stay right there where it's at. I mean, get as much as you can out of that building.
What do you think about so you're going to be a predominantly ball python guy. You got like this new Reptile Nation shows, Reptilian Nation shows are actually really looking at what you're selling too. And they're not going to just allow anybody with ball pythons just to come in or
Right.
anybody with horn snakes to come in. How do you feel about that in shows? Do you think it's like should be every man for himself sort of thing, or you think the ball python game is just a little bit over the top in some cases?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Yeah, it is.
I'm not saying
man.
NARBC is going to listen to what you say right now either. You know what I'm saying? I mean, they're not going to. Trust me, Brian don't listen to this shit, and he don't listen to this show. And even if he did, I don't think he would implement that sort of policy. But I still like to think that maybe, just maybe, there might be a big show out there that they try to balance a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean, to me, I mean, there was a whole lot of ball pythons at Tinley, but there was also a whole bunch of other stuff. I think you just gotta, you gotta. I mean, you just got to go in there and look for it. I mean, I'm sure there are some guys in there who were only walking around on the ball pythons, that going from table to table that had ball pythons and stuff. But I mean, I met a lot of cool retic guys. And then my wife she bought a dwarf retic, a super dwarf from no, it's a dwarf because it's a super dwarf in the Motley Tiger. I don't know, one of those things. But she bought it from Garrett. Hurdle.
Yeah, Hurdle.
Yeah, Hurdle. Yeah. So reach out. Yeah. So we spent some time over there with him, gaining some knowledge from him on the species and whatnot. And that thing is a piece.
And Garrett's awesome too. Garrett's easy to catch knowledge from. He's pretty easily infectious with his knowledge and stuff. He likes to be that guy. He likes to be an ambassador to what he's doing.
Oh yeah.
I think a lot of people could learn how to represent themselves from watching Garrett.
Right. Yeah.
If anything you can learn from Garrett at all, it's how to represent your company and your brand. Like that's one thing that dude's got as a solid, solid when it comes to that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I mean, I think the show, I mean, I hope they don't, limit the ball python breeders from coming in.
I don't think they will, but
coming in
I
there.
think that if they were going to, they'd have done it a long time ago.
Right.
But,
and there's just so many different
I mean, you got Reptilian Nation that's doing it actively, though. Like they're doing it where they're we are not allowing this many ball python people to come into this show. So like pretty much if you're not locked in Reptilian Nation on ball pythons at this point, you're probably sitting on a waiting list.
Wow.
Which I think is good to a certain extent because some of these shows can be problematic. Tinley's big enough to not matter, bro. Like, but like the small shows like Herps and Repticons and things like that, when you got a family, I mean, let's face it, when you go to your local show, man, when you go over to that Sacramento show, you see families in there, right? And I mean, those families paid admission to get in there. And when a family pays admission to go to a reptile show, and then they get there, and it costs a family of 5 over $60 to get in the place with everybody, and then to get them all food is another $40-something.
Right.
And then when they get in the room, half the people there are selling necklaces and supplies, and the other half the people are selling ball pythons.
Yeah.
You go back to the door and you ask for your fucking money back. Like, I mean, and honestly, they cause a scene all the time, dude. All the time.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
Yeah, I could definitely see that for sure. That
Yeah,
makes
look at
sense.
this. Whole back rack says Atlanta's wait list for Reptilian Nation is hundreds deep for ball python breeders.
Wow.
Hundreds deep, because they're only allowing literally a small group of them in. So if other shows take note of that, it'll be interesting. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, bro, if they could tell a ball python guy you can't do Arlington, I have an entire 2 tables of reptiles that not one of them is a ball python, and I'm on the way. Like, literally, call me up, Brian. Let me know. We can take one of them tables away from people, you know. And Will said Arlington isn't as big as Tinley, but it's still better because of Earl's after parties. Lone Star Reptiles, you know, Earl and Ren, they throw these parties for Arlington. They have one tonight, actually. That's probably where half of our listeners are.
Oh yeah, everybody's over there.
Over there, Earl and Ren's tonight, partying it up. So, you know, those are such good people, though.
Yeah, I love to get down there and see his place, man. He with all the animals that he has in his backyard and all that kind of stuff that's set up, and it looks like a lot of fun.
Yeah, it does look like a lot of fun. He's such a good host, but that's just family people, man. Those are people that'll just take you in regardless. Like you're all family to them. It's unbelievable. Shows need to show and tell education and entertainment and fun. I agree. Reptilian Nation seems to have good business model. Creative Corolofus said. I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think that is a good business model to a certain extent. I'm not saying that we should tell people ball pythons aren't wanted, but I'm saying that we should limit the number, because if you start allowing more dragon and gecko and frog and other, you know, just others in, then you strengthen those other areas of the industry.
Right. Yeah.
So yeah, for sure. So how about politic wise? How about otherwise that way? I mean, like, you know, how this can be full of drama. We've recently gone through a little bit of a snafu here, obviously. Wherein you and I were, you know, talking a pretty good bit, and you were of great counsel and help in my mind. So again, I appreciate that. But how do you feel about the state of the market and with those things in mind? You know, the hobbyists, in general, the overall treatment ethically and otherwise. You know? Yeah.
I honestly, I try to stay as low. I mean, you know, other than doing my YouTube videos and stuff like that, I try to stay out of all of that nonsense when it comes to the drama. Because for one, I only been breeding for a day and a half, if you ask me. So I'm just trying to, you know, stay low and stay focused. I'm also a pastor of a church out in Reno, and so I definitely try to, you know, live that lifestyle 24/7. So, you know, getting caught up, especially in some snake drama that that doesn't make sense. It definitely is something that I don't want to get into. But I mean, even when you had reached out to me, I thought it was just like I was like, oh man, this was out of the blue. But it was like, you know, but when me and you were talking, I didn't see it as drama. I saw it as, you know what I'm saying, two brothers talking and trying to, you know what I'm saying, help one another work through some stuff. And so I thought it was, you know, but, you know, I think our hobby as a whole, I mean, anytime you get a whole bunch of people together with different point of views, different lifestyles, different political views, different ways of upbringing, you're always going to have some kind of drama, because some people are never going to change how they feel and about certain situations. And then it just, you know, it happens, you know, it's life.
True.
You know,
opinions are like assholes, they said.
Yeah. Everybody has, you know.
It turns out that not only do we all have at least one,
yeah,
some of us have many more than one.
Right.
And God, man, and the different angles and stuff. And that was what I wanted to say, was that, like, you know, our point of views may differ along the lines, but you had a very interesting point of view, and I like that point of view. And I don't want to harp on the details of it. It's kind of why I waited until the later part of the show to do it, in case somebody's really serious about us and listening to what we have to say. They can listen this far, you know. But it was from a place of treating hate with love to correct it, not hate with hate and correcting it. And I thought it was so refreshing, the approach, the overall, you know, just where you stood with everything. And I'm not trying to beat around the bush, but I also don't want to discuss things that you don't want to discuss publicly. So, you know,
no, I'm good with whatever. Yeah, I'm good with whatever.
You're good with that. So, like, in the grand scheme of it all, I don't know what else I want to say. I really don't know what else I want to say other than I appreciated your perspective. Would you care to speak on it at all, or no?
Yeah, you mean just on that situation?
On that situation, yeah.
I mean, like I told you, you know, even with everything that had happened, you know, on your podcast at that point, you know, like I told you, I was like, hey, man, you know, bottom line is, you know, as long as, you know, because I got to the point where it was like, you know, do you do a show? Do you cancel? Do you do this? Do you can't? You know what I'm saying? You know, and I don't think that anybody, just from my own upbringing and my own, like I said, I'm a pastor, so I try to look at the whole picture of a lot of stuff, because in life we all make mistakes, we all mess up. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, whatever, it don't matter, man. People are people, and so I just try to love everybody. You know, because wrong being treated with more wrong only leads to, you know, a bigger fight. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen an altercation where one person was coming at somebody foul and then the other person approached that person with kindness and love, to where they still ended up fighting. You know, it was always okay. Well, you know what I'm saying? So
you can't really put that. You throw that blanket on the fire, more or less, and it just smothers it out, right? Like it just smothers it out. And,
exactly, man.
Yeah, it was fresh. It was a fresh approach, man. When you were just like, I don't want to treat this situation with hate. I want to treat it with love. I want to hug that person and understand where they're coming from. I want them to understand me and understand my point of view. I don't want to have like, oh, I'd have beat his ass, or I'd have punched him in the mouth, or I'd have cut him off, or I'd have shut him down, or I'd have woulda, coulda, shoulda, right? Tend to not have. And another situation that you mentioned to me was that, like, you know, we're all brought up in different situations, and dealing with situations like that, you don't know how you're going to do it until you actually are in it. Right.
Yeah.
And the fact is that I in my moments of hate, the times that I have been the most open to looking inwards on myself was when I was treated with love during those moments of hate.
Right.
And honestly, it has been less times than I was treated with hate from hate. Okay. I have not been treated with love from hate more than I have been treated with hate or anger from hate. But I can honestly say I have seen a grown, despicable man that was worth nothing to me or to the world completely change his tune when someone showed him love during his biggest moments of hate. And after seeing that, I was like, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw what I just saw. So anyway, I didn't want to put you on the spot over it in particular, but that you did, like, you were very helpful to me in explaining things in your own point of view, from that pastoral point of view, right?
Yeah.
That you're a shepherd, bro. You lead an audience of people. Like you have to lead by example.
Right.
And for that, I'm truly thankful for you as a person, you know, for being an awesome person.
Yeah, man.
Thanks for being in this thing and making this whole reptile thing better and making it your own thing. Hopefully you're breeding caiman lizards by the time they have mutations. By the time they have albino caiman lizards.
Yeah, my wife wants another one. She keeps asking me to get another one.
Really?
So,
wow.
Yeah,
see,
man.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
When she wants more of the nastiest shit you've got, then you know you've chosen wisely, sir.
Right.
How long
right.
you been
Yeah.
with her?
Oh man, since 2016. So 7 years. We've been married for 7 years. We
7
met.
years.
Yeah, we met, got married. We met, started dating 3 months later, got married 6 months after we started dating, and been married 7 years. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
congratulations.
man.
She
So
sounds amazing.
oh
You
yeah.
know, congratulations to her because we know that you are an amazing dude. You know, and I do hope that Ebony and Ivory Reptiles continues to grow. Obviously not grow outside of the biggest little city.
Right.
But at the same time, it grows to what you want it to be, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
100 of these banger ass ball pythons that are cranking out more than what you spent on them is the
Right.
idea. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, ultimately, that's the idea. So,
Yeah.
anybody in the chat got any more questions for this gentleman? Anything they want to bring to light? Anything? I don't know if we have anything sensational really to discuss. I mean, the ball python market is not falling down around its ankles. Like I look at this list and I feel great about a number that's 2,000 animals shorter than it was last week. That's
Right.
wonderful. People got some money and they got some, yeah.
Yeah.
We need our own Sunday morning bullshit show called Moments of Inspiration. I don't know if I thank you or I don't know if I thank you or a fuck you is good for that one there, Michael, but I love you for saying something. Thank you for saying something.
Oh
But
man.
really, like, you know, this fucking list, man. This list is huge and
Yeah.
continually growing and growing. So yeah, if you guys don't have anything, what's your most anticipated clutch for this year? I don't know if it's whatever he paid the most money for. I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, yeah, I think it was probably the Hypo Desert Ghost stuff, but I don't know.
Yeah. It's
Sounded like it
the
was to me.
Hypo Desert Ghost head clown to a Hypo Clown head Desert Ghost female. So hopefully we'll hit some triple visuals. But that one and the also have the Desert Entry Fire Desert Ghost head clown male going to the Stranger Clown female. So we can get some Stranger into that Desert Ghost project, into that Desert Ghost Clown project. So those
Yeah,
two are
and
my
that stuff's
two.
all virgin too. Like all of that Stranger, Acid, all those combinations. You guys are only on like your second and third gene introductions and stuff. That shit's got
Yeah.
so much room to go.
Oh yeah, yeah. So much, man. So
place
much.
to go.
So
It's just a hell of a lot. The 2,000 snake seller with 2,000 snakes removed. 2,000 snakes violated the terms and service conditions of MorphMarket.com. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. The ball python market is crashing because 2,000 snakes were, because 2,000 snakes were removed for spam.
I actually sold two. I was two of those 2,000 last
He
week.
was
I
two
know
of those
that.
2,000. Guess what? I was none of those 2,000 guys. I was fucking none of them. All right, guys. So that's it for us tonight. I think we're probably wrapping this up here soon. MorphMarket.com/store/Ebony and Ivory Reptiles with underscores between all the words. Instagram.com/Ebony and Ivory Reptiles with no underscores between any of the words. And then what else? We got a YouTube channel over here. And this YouTube channel has almost as many subscribers as I do. So we're both trucking our way up there. Hopefully we'll get to 1,000.
Yeah, trying to hit 1,000 this year. That's the goal.
1,000. So go over there and like Ebony and Ivory Reptiles on YouTube. Hit the subscribe button. Look, I'm going to hit the subscribe button. I did it off camera so that it didn't look embarrassing. It looks like I was. No, it's fine, bro. I'll be honest. You know,
I appreciate it, man.
Button. Yeah, hit the subscribe button. I was 694. So hopefully you guys can add some numbers to this and check him out. You got quite a bit of content on here. Go check out all of their stuff. Man and wife running this awesome business with some incredible looking animals. So you guys should have a good future ahead of you. I don't see that being a problem at all. Let's see. That's it. Yeah. So what else? Nothing else? Yeah, not .com. No, you're not doing a .com, right? No, very few people are doing that these days. Very
just the MorphMarket. Yeah, just the MorphMarket.
I tried to trade Bob Vu ballpythonmorphs.com for just some snakes. You know what he said? I don't have a use for a .com. I'm like, what? That's not what? What? Oh man, I don't have a use for it. So if anybody out there wants to trade me good solid snakes for ballpythonmorphs.com, you can name your business that if you want. You can use it as a business name. I fully sell all licensure to you in the deal. Let me know, because I have owned it since the year 2000, and it has had tons of traffic. It's been pointed to EBN forever. But it had its own ball python site on it for a long time, but I shut that down in like 2007, something like that. I got tired of running. I was running 4 websites at once. That was way too much.
Oh, geez. Yeah.
Was running a corn snake, a ball python, a boa constrictor, and then everything else. But I tell you what, though, man, it made me really shine with each one of those groups of people.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Having their own space for them. So, all right, my man. Well, hopefully your ball shit experience was a good one.
Man, it's been a blast.
And I hope we can have you back later this year for more of a commentary on how you're doing. Because there's a few of you that I'm going to still call noobs. There's a few of you very noobs that I want to catch up with on the rebound very many times. Like I don't want to do like these long shows that I do with these people that are spotlights. That's the only show they're ever going to get their whole entire life. I'm never going to interview them again. But some of you guys I want to catch back up with when I see more of your projects and more of your successes, because I think it's outstanding that you're here. And I'm super thankful that you are here. And I thank you a lot for your time tonight.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you even inviting me on, man, for real. It's been amazing being on here.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Sure. And I'm sure you've done other podcasts and you'll continue to do other podcasts. You're a great giant dude. And I think you've got a lot to show us for the future. I think your opinions on where you put your money also help people feel good about where they're spending their money, you know? So keep on being out there and putting all your stuff out there. Good seeing Matt on here. I agree. Jonathan Sell, thanks for coming in tonight. Mike Narita, thanks a lot. Gonna swing by the Sack Show to say hello. There you go.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay, look forward to
that way. Yeah, he's out that way. Ryan and Goofballs, thanks again for coming by. Smoky Mountain Balls, yeah, you're late to the game, but you know what? You can catch the rest of it on the rerun. So, yep. All right, Matt. Well, if you hang tight for me just a minute, I want to close out with some details with you after we're done, and let's just move on. Unless there's something else you want to say.
No, man. Thanks everybody for coming on.
Yes, indeed. I'll see you in a minute. Just hang tight.
Okay.
All right. All right, everybody. Well, that was Matt. Great show. You know what? I'm going to feel good that we ended it in under 2 hours, because I'm going to be honest with you. I don't know how much more podcasting steam I have in me with this week, whenever. Okay, Tuesday, I have a show scheduled. What did somebody say? Creative Corolofus and I are going to do a gecko show. Not this Tuesday, Creative, if you're still in this chat. Not this Tuesday. Let's do next Tuesday. Because I have a podcast planned this Tuesday with Mr. Jason Balin. So all of you guys that are into Morelia, carpet pythons, that is, if you're wondering, the originator of the tiger mutation of carpet pythons, Mr. Jason Balin, as episode 69 of the Hold Back Rack podcast ran me down today. The threesome that I had today with the 2 women of the Hold Back Rack podcast literally wore me the fuck out, even had they not given it the number of 69. So please go check out Hold Back Rack podcast episode number 69 today for me, and go to the Bullshit channel if you are not already on the Bullshit channel. I got 1 subscriber today. Isn't that great? I have 1 subscriber. If you're not on the Bullshit channel, go to the live tab on the YouTube channel, and there you will find the listings. And I believe here it is, the Jason Balin episode coming up this Tuesday at 7 p.m. I'm going to have to remind Mr. Balin, be sure he hasn't forgotten about his appearance on the Bullshit podcast. So hopefully we can scratch some surface with him on the tiger morph, maybe another few morphs of Morelia. And for now, here we are. We're done. It's the evening. Thank you very much. I appreciate you all for coming on. Remember that all of these views have been not shared by my sponsors, even though all of them have been amazing. Well, not mine, but his were. And I will see you guys this coming week. I am getting ready to head out and go home and rest. So take care. Good night.